G'day, Martin here. So today we're just out in the paddock again. Going to get into a bit of Sunday morning fallow spraying, and yeah, I'll explain a bit as to why we're doing that, why we're hitting these weeds as young as they are, when a lot of people would just sort of leave it, given that there's not a lot of rain and the weed pressure isn't that bad. But first up, good lesson in why you run water through your spray rig first before you load it. That's been parked up for maybe a month, and 6 out of 48 nozzles were blocked up with spider webs, of all things. Tiny little spiders, and they're web. Mainly in a bit of a band, but yeah, there was a few scattered out at the wings as well. Anyway, that's all cleared up. They're all running well now, so I'm going to stop wasting water, load her up and head down the paddock. So I'm out here in the paddock. I've got that up and running now, got it all unfolded, ready to go. And basically you can see the weed issue that we've got. It's mainly just volunteer wheat. Little bits scattered about, you can see it up the run there behind me, and just in patches, mainly wherever there was laying straw, and it's just insulated it that little bit better, kept that moisture there. Now we're going into a very dry winter by the looks of it. All the forecasts are saying it's going to be dry, so we've got to try and save all the moisture we can. And if that means getting out there and spending another, what is that? That's, let's call it 12 bucks a hectare. It's a little bit less than that, but I can't be buggered working out the extra math. But about 12 bucks a hectare on some glyphosate, we'll go do it, because all that moisture is worth it to me in the ground. And same reason we're leaving our stubble there. There's a lot of cultivated paddocks getting about. I think they're mainly chasing fleabane. For me, it's all about that double knock, and you know, paying that bit extra for chemical, because at the end of the day, you want that stubble there, particularly if we're going to be going into a dry winter. And yeah, I don't want to waste moisture. The best way to save it is to keep your stubble. Don't burn it, don't plough it, don't do any of that. Anyway, I'm going to go get up in the cab. The load too, so just dip the last of the chemical in, and yeah, fill her up with water and head back down the paddock. Anyway, so yeah, that's where we're at. Keep on keeping on, see if we can snap a boom on these new contours. Right, so this paddock's not too bad, as there's really only one bank to go over, but the next one will be an issue. If that boom, try not to hit the ground, rocking and a rolling. Yeah, so the next paddock I think I'm going to cut it back to a 100 litre water rate and just go very slow, because yeah, this is rough and not fun. Complicate matters, I decided to film that just as I went around the tree. So, yeah, great thinking, Martin. But yeah, no, those banks should come good with crop with a bit of rain. But yeah, for now, it's fun and games up and over. Righto, so Martin here again, back in the cab. So the inevitable happened the other day, and going over these new banks, I whacked the boom into the ground a bit too hard. In a bit of a rock and roll, broke a couple of nozzle bodies, and that little strut out there, which yeah, they do tend to bend with the swaying and the rocking every so often, but yeah, it snapped at one of the welds. So obviously I've gone and gotten that fixed, and yeah, that was sort of about 5 in the arvo, so it didn't come back out. Now out here the next day to finish the job. Topped up the tanks with a bit more water. We're going to up that water rate to 100 litres, mainly just to slow me down, which doesn't really mean too much as we like, you know, go through the paddock or go over the banks, because I'm still going to have to slow down further for them. But it is, it's less slowing down, if that makes sense, and then less wastage as I slow down to go over these new banks, because the rate controller isn't perfect. still over-apply as we go over them. Anyway, so yeah, if that makes sense. Got a bit of weather out in the west, which I've been watching on the radar since 3 AM. Why was I awake at 3 AM? Honestly, I don't know, but I was, probably to check the radar. Anyway, I think it's gonna dissipate and break up and not make it over here, or at least that's what I hope's gonna happen. But yeah, from what it looks like it will disappear. Anyway, we'll keep trundling down to the paddock and look into it. Righto, so the 100 litres so far is going well. It's obviously a lot slower, but it's just with these slow hydraulics for the boom tilt. It just gives me more time to lift them, get them over. Now, as those of you with contour banks would know, when you hit a bank square on, it's not so bad because everything goes up and over evenly. But if you head onto one side on like I'm about to, it's a bit more difficult because your tractor tilts, and obviously your boom tilts with it, and will tilt towards the ground, and that's where you get all your shake, rattle, rolling and whacking the ground. So having that more time just gives me a bit more time to... Right, so what you just heard happen there a moment ago was, as I was trying to lift the boom, I lifted it a bit too quickly and it knocked the high pro out of gear, so I just had to back up and kick it back in and go back over that spot. Which, yeah, joys of older tractors and slower hydraulics. Righto, so that's this paddock done. Just going back down the last run from yesterday, in case those nozzle bodies broke a little before I noticed them, but I didn't think they did. I think they probably broke when I bounced that boom. Yeah, so just running out the last of the tank and then on with the rest of the day. Anyway, until next time, keep at it.